Hi, Matt with Custom Car Grills here with a video for the 2018 and newer Ford Mustang lower mesh install. The cuts that will need to be made are where the factory plastic mesh meet the solid area around it. To make the cuts, I'm going to use my Dremel and equip it with the number 543 cutting and shaping wheel. Then it's just a matter of cutting right on the border of the mesh in the solid area like this. Having some patience and a steady hand will be important here because I don't want the cutting wheel to slip off. The upper corners are a little tricky and it's best to not attempt cutting those from the front. On the back of the grill, you can see where I stopped short and then made the cut from behind. With all the cuts made, the inner portion can be removed and discarded. Next, I'll pick off some of the little burnt bits that were created from the cutting. After it's all cleaned up, I'll use the top of the cutting wheel to shave down the plastic cut edge to be smooth and uniform. For anyone not familiar with this technique, it might be best to practice on the plastic portion that was cut out earlier. With the top cut edge, I try to get it as flush with the rest of the factory edge on the back as I could. Then it's time to pick off the burnt plastic bits again, this time a little more thoroughly. After that, I'll grab a knife and trim the back of the edge so that it's real clean and sharp. Now, let's take a look at the mesh piece we have for sale on our website. It's our 1/4 inch hexagon mesh that's been pre-cut specifically for this application. This mesh will drop right on the back of the opening when all the right cuts have been made. To temporarily hold the mesh to the opening, I'm going to use some cable ties. It's simply a matter of running the tie around the grill and through an opening in the mesh and then fastening them together. For a good hold, I like having the tie end on the back of the mesh as shown here. With all the ties in place, the ends can be trimmed off and discarded. To bond the mesh to the opening, I like using an adhesive called automotive goop. Something small and sharp, like a toothpick, really helps me with applying the adhesive so I can accurately place the goop where it needs to be. This adhesive takes about a day to cure, so it's best to plan accordingly. Once the goop is cured, it's time to cut the ties off and discard them. Now let's flip this around and see how it turned out. This looks really good, and it wasn't too difficult to do. This also pairs perfectly with our upper grill mesh mod. Well, I hope you liked this video. If you have any questions about this install, feel free to contact me.